everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, a very good defense will be on the field. The Vikings are the least scored on team in the league, and they'll be up against the Bears offense that will need to rise to the occasion. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Guyton alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here that's complete. The 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Point after here coming up. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Atkins to throw. Throwing on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Now back to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. They'll look to set up his blockers. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. And now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And they're able to get the connection on a long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, touchdown, Chicago! A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears have broken the tie. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
All right, here we go. Over.
Atkins now to throw on 2nd down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
20! Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 44 yards. A big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw it a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together.
So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And he fields it cleanly. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he's got room. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. It was pretty evident in reading everything, hearing these guys talk, that this was a deal they wanted to get done. They know how valuable he is to this team.
Absolutely a key component to what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him, and they got the deal done.
Losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And some room to work. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. And that drive happened quickly, which is great because they scored the points, but then their defense has to come right back out on the field.
It is exciting, isn't it, for the offense to do that? The defense is saying, okay, that's cool, but let's not make it a habit. We need to get some rest sometime.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's doing his job, but the bottom line, they're losing. They've got a deficit to make up here, and he knows it.
And quarterbacks who last in this league learn that lesson really early. You may have had a great stat line and felt pretty good about how you played, but if your team didn't win, it almost doesn't matter. And right now he's adopted that attitude. How do I get better? How does my team get better? How do we find a way to win the game?
Now he's hoping to lead his team to a successful drive. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into a huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over first and 10. Design run for their wideout, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, with halftime approaching, when we get there, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first-half highlights and analysis.
And I hope he's iced down his throat because he's got a lot to get through because we've had no shortage of points scored in the first half.
It has been a fun track meet. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to fire one deep over. He's got him in. Complete. 30. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. Deshaun Kaiser with 1 touchdown pass thus far. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. 91 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. A second quarter score from down in Houston. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Again, it's Howard. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll give to Howard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he is going to be brought down at the 3-yard line. A second quarter score from down in Houston. And it's the Cowboys that have moved out to an early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going.
Oh, wide open, complete. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. 97 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. The extra point now coming from Myers. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Here's Myers now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They go with Howard again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And he will find his man on the outside. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They're going to look to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. And there it is, sack number 201. He has broken Bruce Smith's all-time record.
For a lot of us, we wondered if anyone would get to that record. But the way teams are throwing the ball around, more opportunities for these sack artists to accumulate numbers. And we've seen the biggest number of all eclipsed today.
14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it?
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Atkins on 3rd down. And he's able to find Diggs. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37th. A good pickup there at 22. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now a handoff looking right. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Let's go!
And now here's a carry heading left. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. Around the NFL, 3rd quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And it's the Bucs who have moved out in front in that ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Here's Myers now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They go with Howard to begin the drive. Now another. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. First down, he'll drop to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. He is racking the sacks up. Charles, 5 last week, now 2 here.
I don't care what they've done in scheme.
And the pressure gets to him again. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. He'll get 9 yards on the keeper there, but it's still going to leave him with a 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, pardon, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up, and to great success.
A little juke. And he'll wind wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a handoff as they run left side. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
Green 39! Green 39! 97.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
And now here's a carry heading left. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now, that one looks like he'll throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
I'm going to forget today.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the 1st. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride is...
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And now the Vikings Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And now a fair catch called for, and he'll indeed take it at about the 6-yard line. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Very tough spot here for the offense to start.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. 2nd down following the run.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 30, the 20. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. Put a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. One of the fun parts about working with you is that we've learned that there are different ways to do things than the way we were brought up to do them. This is Madden. Of course they were going to go ahead and get another score. What do you mean take a knee?
And that just makes the final margin even more lopsided. I think they earned themselves a cold drink from the fridge, right?
There's no doubt
some
about
pretzels, too, some hummus. They're crazy.
See, we've learned.
They're crazy.
We have learned the Madden way of doing things.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So